Ladies and gentlemen, all across this country, we have little brainwashed far left extremist domestic terrorists running around. Yes, I am talking about Antifa, the recently classified by President Donald John Trump as domestic terrorists, funded by the CCP and the George Soros Foundation. They do the Democrats' dirty work. That is chaos, death, riots, destruction, and everything else that is horrible in between. And ladies and gentlemen, finally, the Trump administration, in collusion with Kash Patel and his FBI, are investigating not just Antifa, but who is funding Antifa. George Soros in particularly. And we're about to get into all of that. But do me a huge favor, ladies and gentlemen, smash that thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment. Where are you tuning in from today? And really quickly, before we get into it, I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor and the sponsor of the channel overall, Verity Metals. Ladies and gentlemen, whoa, dropped my pen. There are dozens, if not hundreds of dozens of precious metals companies. Why do I work with Verity Metals? Well, they are patriots. Matthew Geiger, the owner, is a personal good friend of mine. He's a person of faith. He's a Trump supporter. This is not a huge call center. This is a small family-owned office located in Glendale, Arizona, where you can actually go into the office, meet the owner, actually see what you're paying and what you're getting. IRAs, 401ks, and everything in between, they have you covered. Plus, don't forget to ask them about their self-storage IRA options. That's right, self-storage IRA options. Call 888-328-6105. Mention Vlad for additional metals on your next order. Links are down below in the description. Thank you. Now, from here, I'm going to take you to this amazing Gateway Pundit report right here. FBI Director Kash Patel is investigating George Soros' financial links to Antifa. During an interview on the National Desk, FBI Director Kash Patel addressed growing public concern over whether billionaire George Soros and his Open Run Foundation are funding anti-American movements. When asked directly if the foundation was supporting terrorist organizations, Patel declined to confirm or deny, saying he could not comment on ongoing investigations. Turning to the issue of Antifa and the president's new executive order granting expanded authority to federal agencies, Patel explained that investigators are focusing on financial networks behind the unrest. Quote, the one thing I've done my entire career is under investigations, Patel said, is follow the money. This was the same advice Patel had received from Senator Ted Cruz in September, following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Cruz urged Patel to pursue not only those directly responsible, but also those funding or organizing the violence. He emphasized that the unrest did not appear spontaneous. And I totally agree. Think about it. If you have a job, if you got priorities and things you got to do, you're not going to be out in the streets protesting, rioting. No one does it for free. And plus, you look at the clothes these people are wearing and the weaponry that they bring. Everything costs money. Where are they getting all this from? Cruz told Patel, I want to encourage you in the course of this investigation to absolutely go after anyone who aided and abetted, but I would more broadly encourage you to follow the money. He argued that much of the violence seen across the country was not purely organic, but fueled by what he described as, quote, significant money spreading dissension. We all know George Soros hates humanity. If you're a human being, George Soros hates you, despises you, can't stand you. These people are anti-human, they're anti-peace, they're anti-family, they're pro-terrorism, LGBTQ-VZ3GG+, don't forget the plus, and everything else that's horrible. They're pro-transmissions, you know, the men think they're women. Transmissions, that's what I call them, shifting gears. But this is great, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we need in our country right now. We need investigations. We need to cut off their money supply. And how do you do that? You go after these crooks. You go after the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization and Soros and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and the big bankers. You shut them down. I'll keep you updated. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I love you. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.